Good night and welcome to week 6 of Lord of Luxury's Legacy Constructed League. My name is Cosme, and who do I have with me this evening?
Hey, it's Talia. I'm here to do commentary.
That's Talia. Thanks Talia for being with us. All right, so let's get into the matchup tonight. We've got Lil Willy, Lord of Discord, and Lord of Mono Blue 8cast. Um, I think this is a pretty standard list from what I've seen. Playing Wasteland, I guess, is the main difference from your normal 8cast list. Not that I would really know, but we have been hipped to a really tasty sideboard card. But maybe we'll talk about the sideboard card after we talk about the opponent's deck. Anything that's jumping out in Lil Willie's list to you, Talia?
Um, Nothing in particular here. I or I'm not entirely sure exactly how this matchup goes, but I assume that Mono Blue 8cast is decently equipped to combat initiative. Like, if there's one thing an 8cast really does have going for it, it's a lot of ways to steal the initiative.
Yeah,
And honestly, their creatures are fairly resilient to the initiative dex interaction, it seems.
yeah, that,
Um,
that's my assumption, and main deck like instant speed interaction in the form of like force of wills and rebukes and stuff. So
yes.
like could totally just force of will a turn one initiative creature, which I assume is almost always the play. But okay, I guess we've more or less spoiled the opponent. The opponent, of course, is Taylor. Is Taylor playing? I was going to give Taylor's full name. Probably not important here. Playing Selesnya initiative. Selesnya is really is really not is really sort of a joke. What's the one green in the deck? I forget. It's like it's freaking Once Upon a Time. So it's what Mono White Initiative playing Once Upon a Time. Four swords to plowshares in the main deck. This is different if you've watched any of Caleb's matchups. Caleb's has the I think the Chalice of the Voids in the main deck, as opposed to the swords. So other than that, I think it's a pretty standard white initiative list. The one card that we did want to talk about really quickly, which is an interesting and spicy sideboard tech that we just were hipped to, is the Gloom in Lil Willy's sideboard. Um, Gloom is a card that I've never seen before, if I'm being honest. White spells cost 3 more to cast, and activated abilities of white enchantments cost 3 more to cast. I think we did determine that the channel ability on Touch the Spirit Realm does not get taxed by this enchantment. Um, but otherwise, it seems pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you wanna chop up about? Otherwise, I think we're good to get the game going. All right. Then I'll give him the all clear. Um, all right. So it looks like Lil Willy has already drawn their hand. As a person who does not play this list, it seems. Oh, I was gonna say it seems fine, but obviously not good enough for Lil Willy. Probably no fast mana, I would imagine.
Cosme, I cannot see the game. Would you mind streaming?
Oh, sure, 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 sure.
Thanks.
Uh, yeah, okay. How's that?
Thank you.
Yep.
All go.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, Lil Willy. I think this is their first mull. Um,
Yeah.
it looks like they're keeping this hand. Uh, It seems all right.
I think it looks pretty good. Um,
It's a little
like,
awkward that they can't really do anything turn one, right?
well, they can play Emery turn one, which is
Oh, that's
pretty
right.
solid.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
But no interaction in turn one. So there, I assume
yeah,
I assume Lou Willy is on the play. Actually, don't know for sure.
yes.
Yes, it
So,
looks like Taylor rolled a one. So yeah.
yeah. So I think it's a little awkward. Hmm. It seems likely that we're gonna, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we're gonna see the White Plume Adventure resolve turn one, but that's sort of just what the initiative deck does.
Yes, that's right.
It's as I have to assume that with a turn one Emery, Will is probably able to combat that, but we'll see. It very much depends on what they see off of the mill. Oh, they passed. Huh.
Interesting. What?
That
They
is
can't cast
surprising.
rebuke.
No, they can't.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm. Maybe they just didn't see it. Curious what they're because they are definitely looking over that Emery. Or you are.
Yeah, no, Emery was definitely the play.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Lil Willie missed it, but I also can't I can't understand what else uh, they want to do with this turn.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean,
Then perhaps.
Taylor hasn't done anything, so maybe
Yeah.
Taylor did draw, but hmm.
Well, Taylor has double Cavern of Souls in his hand, so he's clearly contemplating playing things a little slower and not. Or, like, the White Plume Adventure, turn one is obviously great, but if it gets Force of Will, but if deck has Force of Will, they counter it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. But, yeah, that's it. They're clearly still opening with it.
yes.
Yeah.
Because even if it gets Force of Will, you can still cast Seasoned Engineer with a Cavern next turn, right?
Yeah, you lose your City of Traders, but it's not the worst thing.
Right. All right. Back to Lil Will. Just
Huh.
a real confusing one here.
Yeah.
Could have had Emery on the board. I mean, not that Emery's really attacking through a 3/3, but value,
No, but
creature on the board.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Taylor started with an invisible time walk that we didn't see. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
uh, yeah, Taylor seems pretty ahead here. I mean, I guess the initiative deck always feels very ahead, but a seasoned
Hmm.
engineer coming down, like
Well,
there's nothing Lil Willy can do about the seasoned engineer coming down.
um, well, they did see an Aether spell bomb off of the Emery, which I imagine we're going to see do a lot of work soon.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
And um,
But
just
here,
making.
here you have a 5/5 White Plume Adventure swinging in. I mean, a better player than me certainly would see some lines from Blue Willy that you know give them hope to beat a 5-5 swinging in turn two after being you know in two what's it called dungeons deep versus two dungeons deep. But I'm not seeing it, especially with I don't know this initiative deck just feels like
The
so
initiative deck
impressive.
is it's certainly very powerful. I think that they would be in a fine position if they had played out the Emery turn one, but it's definitely pretty rough here. Or like if they had played out the Emery turn one, they would have been able to just get the they would have been able to pull the Aether Spellbomb out of their graveyard this turn and simultaneous and hold up either bouncing a thing or Metallic Rebuke, which I believe would have been pretty strong and put
Right.
them in a decent position. Said they're definitely not out of the game. We are gonna start see like we are about to start seeing Urza Saga making constructs, and
Yes, that's right. And
the,
this deck does make very large constructs. So
yeah, the deck makes large constructs. It's probably it's, and they can still lean into the Aether Spellbomb, the repeated Aether Spellbomb to keep things from
yeah, and
getting too brutal. When they have
probably
space, they have
yeah.
so
I was gonna say probably not relevant right away, but also Shadow Spear in the graveyard does really help with racing if that's kind of
yeah.
where we get to.
Oh yeah. Oh, and there we see a Psy, which could be really nice.
Sai is really nice to gum up the board here. Could totally play a
Yeah.
Sai, Emery, and an artifact back. Play that artifact. Get a Thopter. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess you're
Um,
sort of off the. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess you'd be off the construct plan. Um,
no, but but Thopters are also good for stealing the initiative, and if they're going to need to keep looping in Aether spell bombs,
that's true. That's true.
then no, they're
Okay.
making the construct and certainly respectable.
Okay.
It's pretty big.
So I imagine here you probably want to do Emery, get back, Spellbomb.
I would have to imagine that we're about to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this Spellbomb plus this massive. Well, I guess it's not massive, but this fairly big construct token should do a pretty good job of keeping the stemming the attacks.
Somewhat, it's pretty rough though. Like the construct isn't bigger than the creatures.
Yeah,
That
a 3/3 construct. What, one, two, three. Well, it should be four,
yeah, but it'll
but
be three
it'll.
again once the other spellbomb gets
That's
sacrificed.
right. I'm
Yeah.
not used to seeing such tiny constructs from the 8 cast deck.
Yeah.
I think I always have seen them, and this is just my luck. I always see them in there. They're coming down and they're 6/6s with two baubles in play, etc., etc. But yeah,
Oh
this
yeah.
one does not seem very threatening. But I still think you are you chumping here.
Yeah, they're almost certainly jumping, and that's kind of the issue. I think that if they had played out the side, they'd be in a pretty good position here. Just because a Thopter each turn makes it real easy to chump.
Yeah,
Um
though Taylor did draw a Caracas, and Caracas looks pretty good.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting that they are. Well, I guess it
Well,
doesn't matter because you can still bounce it.
yeah, they're just gonna
Yeah. Why is there a White Plume Adventure on the stack? Nope. Okay, that was a mistake.
yeah.
Oh, I see. It was explore, explore trigger. Yeah, I guess you're basically priced into bounce, bounce chump.
Yeah,
Doesn't feel
and
great.
yeah, and if yeah, and then we're about to see the Throne of the Dead 3 resolve.
Yeah. I mean, Throne of the Dead 3, there's still what? A turn? Oh, no, but the touch, right. Of course. So I didn't see what the spell bomb targeted. Must have been the Dungeoneer.
Yeah, let's.
I guess. I guess that only makes. There's the Caracas. Yeah. These draws really lined up for Taylor. I don't. Oh, and didn't chump. Oof. Plus Throne to the Dead 3.
Oh, yeah, the spell bomb went for the Dungeoneer, and Taylor responded by channeling Touch the Spirit Realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty rough.
Yep. And I can just get a Palace Jailer here, remove the Construct token. I mean, or a White Plume and just continue down the initiative train again. I mean, all seem like fairly winning lines.
Yeah.
Or the Spellbinder. I mean, I guess yeah. they really get their pick. How they want to handle
Yeah,
this. I don't think any of
pretty
these
sure
are
there's.
bad decisions, really.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there's anything. I would probably bias towards the Palace Jailer, but.
Yeah, I think Little Willy rightfully, uh, rightfully scooped him up.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, what comes in? I mean, for Taylor, let's see.
Yeah.
Stony Silence seems pretty good. There's an argument for a Chalice, I guess. Chalice on 0 isn't a nothing card.
I think Chalice is going to be better on the play than the draw.
That's true.
Um,
That's true. That's true.
I would imagine it's. I would imagine we're mostly just going to see Stony Silence and Loran,
Yeah.
honestly.
And then maybe Chalice of the Voids on
Yeah.
the play, if
Yeah.
it comes to that.
That's what I would guess. Ultimately, yeah. It's ultimately, I don't think Taylor is really trying to take on any sort of prison role. And yeah, any sort of prison or prison-esque role here, really.
Yeah.
Even though they have access to it. Yeah.
And then for Little Willy, I think, I mean, obviously the Gloom.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see the ghoul. Yeah, I'd imagine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'd imagine we're going to see the Gloom. I think we're going to see the Dismembers and the Torpor Orbs for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that there were 2 Torpor Orbs in the side. That seems very good. Especially, I mean, again, it's like landing on any of these on turn 1, I think, is a pretty big game. Other than that, there's nothing else super. They've started. So right off the bat, some decent interaction from Lil Willy, but no blue mana and no fast mana either. Awkward. Yeah. And well, equally for Taylor, no turn 1 initiative creature. So I might see them both.
Yeah, I think Willy's probably gonna keep though. Yeah. I think it's reasonable for Willy to keep this. Like they are absolutely the control deck in this matchup. So
Yeah, that's true. And I do like the
oh,
Dismember. I do like the two Wastelands. I mean, and
yeah.
I guess not being able to play Emery without the blue man is not as bad because you have it for Force of Will if you need it. So yeah,
Oh,
okay,
like oh yeah, this it's gonna be very hard for
yeah.
Taylor to do much against this hand.
Especially because Taylor looks like he's probably going down. Oh, I guess
Oh, he's keeping
he's
that?
keeping. Yeah, I mean he'd mulligan once. I don't love this hand, but uh, you know,
Yeah.
I think they're hoping to
The
rip
lack
a
of
white source. There, I
yeah, well,
mean,
there is a white source.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, now I'm like, will little Willie see the play and force this Chromox? Probably not. But
I doubt that.
that would be a real Tron brain play. Probably just going to force the White Plume Adventurer.
Yeah. That is what I would assume we're gonna see here. So there is actually an argument for forcing the Chrome Mox from the specific perspective that, yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I entirely expect this to get forced. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Especially because Lil Willie's gonna drop the Torpor Orb next turn, and we are gonna see Taylor lose the ability to take the initiative for a while.
Yeah. So do you think Torpor Orb is what happens? I'm almost Wasteland. Yeah, Torpor Orb. I'd be very
Oh,
tempted to Wasteland the Ancient Tomb, but I guess that's me, the lands player. Just when I've got a
oh yeah,
Wasteland, I
there's
just wanna
oh
kill
yeah,
lands.
it's certainly tempting, and I imagine we're going to see the Wasteland, Taylor's Tombs get Wastelanded pretty soon. But ultimately,
The
the
Torpor Orb, yeah, the Torpor Orb's what you want to do, because
yeah,
yeah, you Wasteland an Ancient
like,
Tomb and they have another one, and then
yeah,
you're behind a land and no Torpor Orb.
oh
So
yeah, like Taylor's only answer to it in the main deck. I believe Taylor's only answer to it in the 75 is touch the spirit realm since it yeah since Varan does not work since Varan
yeah.
isn't going to be able to shoot it.
Well, here comes a pretty cool 3/4 with some text on it.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, I
which
would not be sorry.
no, I was gonna say which is probably just gonna die next turn to this Dismember, but
Oh yeah,
this is becoming a real top deck matchup. It would look like. Okay, Little Willie's gonna see two cards. Spire is pretty nice. That lets them play the Psy. I think I'm still pretty tempted to hold up this Dismember. I mean, or maybe you play this. I guess the Psy is a good blocker. Yeah, I guess you play the Psy.
okay, but yeah, but Sai looks pretty rough in the face of that sword, Ace of that swords to plowshares,
That's
which
true. That's
Stack,
true.
yeah, which Stack does know that Taylor has from the Years' Bubble.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I have to imagine they aren't going to play it out, but they do have the second Sai, so like, there's certainly an argument for just running things out. But I do also like dismembering the Seasoned Engineer Even if like the explore triggers, like it's still a threat, and the explore triggers give, yeah, the explore triggers are gonna give,
Yeah, it's gonna help Taylor
it,
dig.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think this is the
yeah.
right play.
No, that said, I'm not surprised that we aren't seeing a tomb get wastelanded here. Figure we're gonna see the size both come down first.
Yeah, I mentioned that is the reason why we're not seeing it. A 0 mana artifact would be great for Willy right here, but no, just the Metallic Rebuke. All right. Well, a very anemic looking Psy Master Thopterus, I imagine, is the play here.
Yeah, though I'm not sure I would agree it looks that anemic. It's a threat that's almost certain to burn the swords to plowshares in Taylor's
Yeah.
hand.
Sure, of
Yeah.
course. Um,
And again, even though Taylor has a bunch of mana, they don't have much they can do with it
it's true.
for the foreseeable future. Like they are relying on top decking really anything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess from here it's there's some decent creatures in Taylor's deck, but they look very bad without the initiative triggers. It's
Oh yeah. Taylor's first priority has to be finding a touch the spirit realm at this point. Um to get rid of that torpor orb.
yeah.
And even though they yeah.
Wow, more mana.
Yeah.
300 channels and nothing to watch. Am I right? Ooh, Thoughtcast is very nice.
Yeah, even if it is certain not quite playable at this point.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, right now we're just the race is who can draw the more. You know, who can draw more cards.
Yeah. Um, I do kind of like Taylor refrain holding the lands in hand because it's pretty likely that that'll tempt stack into double wastelanding the ancient tombs in order
Mm.
to cut off Taylor's access to mana. Like
I think it.
from
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I think at this point, uh, Lil Willy like has to cast these cards in their hand to have any hope of winning this game. And I think double wastelanding puts them so far behind on mana that I can't imagine that's happening anytime soon.
yeah, that's fair. Or they hmm, maybe a single wasteland because it at least theoretically turns on Metallic Rebuke again. Though we're seeing Cavern of Souls here.
Yeah, so it's not gonna matter here.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised. Willy kept Metallic Rebuke in. It seems like it doesn't do that much in the matchup.
Yeah, I guess with all of the ancient tombs and the city of traders, I guess it gets worse.
Yeah.
But it's still like a nearly free mana leak. So I don't hate it, but yeah. So here comes the Palace Jailer. So size is going away. Oh, and the Monarch. Not that's
Should not be
meaningful.
happening.
Oh, that's
Actually.
right. That's right. That's right. Torpor Orb, of
Yeah.
course. Oh, and
Yeah.
I guess actually everything is it's just a 2/2. It's a 2/2 for 4.
Yeah.
Um, wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, never mind. 2/2 for 4. Go.
That is a good Moxo
Yeah,
pull here.
This is a great. This is a very good Moxo pull
Yeah. Er,
because you can bin the Metallic Rebuke, which I think is looking really bad right now. Oh no, wait, you didn't even have to bid. I'm thinking of it wrong. I'm thinking of Chrome Mox.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I feel like we might actually see yeah, Thoughtcast is probably better. I could have also seen actually tapping out for the Thought Monitor here.
Oh, Gloom.
Woo!
What a silly card. I mean, the funny thing is I don't I don't think Taylor's gonna have a problem casting their white cards through Gloom with approximately 1 million mana available. Uh, but it is
Yeah, but
still
Willy does still have the two wastelands. Like
that's
they can cut off four of Taylor's mana whenever they want.
that's true. Taylor just can't draw a card that isn't a land. Um, yeah, I
Hughes are
think.
not royalty.
Uh, yeah, I mean, the Willy is well ahead at this point. Um, yeah, this thought monitor costs only 3. I assume they can also play this Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, they can also play the Kappa Cannoneer. Yep, I guess. Yeah, that seems to be what's happening. Yeah, I really can't see Taylor digging themselves out of this. I mean, what they have that huge? What's the huge white spell in their deck? Does that do anything? The no, I guess they're not even playing it. What's the? Some of these decks run that really big. Is it an angel, Phyrexian angel?
Oh, Chancellor of the Annex? Yeah.
But
It's mostly in there, but yeah.
I don't, I don't think it's
It's
in
most
Taylor's deck.
yeah, he's not playing it. Kind of his list seems to be looking for consistency off of the things. Off of the Once Upon a Time over Chancellor of the Annex to
Right.
force through
That makes sense.
early initiative creatures. So I would not be surprised if this turn we're going to see Willy play the Gloom and double Wasteland the Ancient Tombs. Though,
Interesting. Attacking with the Kappa Cannoneer. I mean, I guess a Ganja looks pretty nice here. Oh,
yeah.
Ward. Yeah, I mean Ward 4 is not a problem, right?
Oh yeah, the Ward 4 is certainly payable. And I imagine we're going to see it get paid.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the problem is that there's just a backup Kappa Cannoneer in hand, plus a Thought Monitor.
That is going to cost Taylor 4 life, so those
Oh
ancient tombs are going to stop being free. Those ancient. Oh, that's rough, actually. Those ancient tombs are not free to tap anymore.
no, they really, really aren't.
Yeah, which is going to make that Ache the Gloom pretty brutal if we see that.
Gloom. Scoop to Gloom.
Yeah.
I would, I would consider scooping to Gloom.
I don't think Taylor. Yeah, I don't think Taylor has any real outs here. And they drew the Amaria's Call, one of the better cards for most of this matchup that looks real rough now.
Yeah.
Oh, two 4/4s with flying would have helped a lot with this game.
Yeah. Just playing it as a land. Oh right, can't cast it to the Gloom. Ugh.
Yeah.
now those ancient tombs, you know, might as well have been wastelanded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a look through Taylor's graveyard. Yeah, Taylor has drawn. I mean, Taylor has one, two, three, four spells that aren't lands in either hand, graveyard, or battlefield. I guess five, including the Palace Jailer. Not great. Not great. Here comes another Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, I mean this is pretty much over. But I mean, obviously, Taylor on the play is a pretty once upon a time. Yeah, this is great. Just keep drawing spells that you can't cast,
Yeah.
or shouldn't cast, depending. But Taylor on the play, I imagine, is going to be pretty favored. Game 3.
Well, I would imagine it'll be more brutal. I don't know if it'll be favored necessarily.
That's true. That's true. I mean, we'll see what the opening hands look like. I
Yeah.
don't imagine there's a ton of sideboarding differences on the play or on the draw. I know we talked about Chalice of the Void looking good on the play, so maybe that does come in for Taylor.
Probably.
I don't really know over what. I mean, maybe over.
It seems like Swords to Plowshares does underperform a bit in the matchup.
That's true, especially with, I mean, the amount of like token creatures.
Yeah, like it doesn't.
Yeah, I imagine Lil Willy's plan is play draw agnostic.
Yeah.
The Torpor Orb looked really good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
imagine it's one of these things where like matchups like these, it's so tempting just to mull down to your just game winning card.
On the play, Torpor Orb is going to be a lot, or on the draw, Torpor Orb is going to be a lot less reliable without the Force of Will
Yes, of
to
course, yeah.
avoid turn one initiative. Like, Torpor Orb is broadly good against the deck, but it gets a lot worse if Taylor already has the initiative.
Yes. Torpor Orb is really doing its job when it's preventing initiative from even being a consideration in the match.
Yeah.
Well, they're really thinking about it. I'm trying to think if there's any other cards that make sense. No, it seems pretty straightforward from both of them. Oh, okay. Here we go. So yeah, we've got a turn 1 Torpor Orb for Lil Willy plus a Force of Will and a Dismember. I really like this hand. I mean, it doesn't have any blue mana again, but it's got everything you want. And
oh yeah, it's real strong. Force of Will into turn 1 Torpor Orb seems like exactly what they want.
Yeah. And this looks like a mull from Taylor.
Yeah, it's interesting.
No
and there's one land and a Lotus Pit.
But you're still relying on drawing another land. Yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would imagine it's gonna. Yeah.
Ooh, this
does look a little. This is still pretty rough, though. It's a lot better.
Yeah, the Once Upon a Time does a lot of work here, but still not great. I'm not seeing a path for a turn 1 initiative creature.
There really isn't one in this hand, which is an issue, but it's pretty easy for it to be a turn 2 initiative creature.
Yes, that's true.
So I could see it being kept, though.
I mean, but it's we already know it will not be a turn 2 initiative creature with the turn 1 Torpor Orb. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Though Taylor does have the Touch the Spirit Realm
that's true. That's true.
to protect.
All right. Well,
It can answer.
so we're gonna see the Selesnya aspect of this deck with this card that is just when they print Magic cards like these, you know that they, you know that they really need new design space because it's just like I don't know. I just remember first seeing this card and it was like, this is just a free spell. This isn't a card that you know. I don't know. And I guess it's less impressive than I actually thought it would be, but it's still and not getting cast. I guess they can. I guess he can cast it whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Um, oh, like
Casting
on upkeep. Is there a reason to cast on opponent's upkeep as opposed to any other time?
In this context, usually you do it to play around counter magic, but when mana isn't a consideration, it's probably not particularly relevant. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that Taylor could have seen off of the Once Upon a Time that would have changed his turn 1, so there's not really any reason not to.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely not right to force the Once Upon a Time.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Like,
Cat.
yeah, though
Cavern is interesting.
Cavern looks really good until that Torpor Orb comes down. Because once the Torpor Orb is down, we're going to see a lot of counter magic directed specifically at Touch the Spirit Realm and Chalice of the Void, I think.
Yeah.
And it.
Yeah, so here comes the Torpor Orb. Yeah.
The real question is Willy going to crack the bauble?
I think so, right? Like I think having it on the battle. Well, I guess for Thoughtcat. No, I think you want to see the card. I think you're looking for a blue source.
Yeah, I think you need to see the card here. There, or like, especially because they now have the Metallic Rebuke in hand.
Yep.
Like, and which makes a blue source extremely strong.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think.
So I think we're gonna.
Go ahead.
Pretty sure we're about to see a Chalice of Void come down on probably on 0 and get countered.
Huh. I don't know. I guess on 0 it's strong enough to warrant a counter. I'd almost be tempted to just leave it alone. Like I guess. What does it shut off? It shuts off Bobble.
Shuts off the baubles and pulls Mox Opal and
yeah. I guess it shuts off enough cards that it's worth.
Yeah.
Yep, as you predicted.
Yep. Yeah. I feel like we're going to see the Force of Will pitching probably Kappa Cannoneer. Though I could also see Thoughtcast. The biggest problem is that letting it resolve makes cracking the bauble much more dubious. Like, if this resolves, it's almost certainly incorrect to crack the bauble. And I think Willy does want to be cracking the bauble and looking for a blue source here.
So you called with the Force, pitching Metallic Rebuke. Interesting.
That's interesting. Maybe. I guess they're just thinking that they don't really need counter magic anymore because of the Torpor Orb, but that Touch the Spirit Realm is.
Yeah, that's right.
Could call that into question.
Yeah, I think I don't. I think I like keeping the Metallic Rebuke because Thoughtcast and Kappa Cannoneer are still quite a ways away. Um,
Another ancient tomb. And, well, there is a Force of Will,
yeah,
so.
that's not bad, but still missing the blue. I guess the Thoughtcast and the Kappa Cannoneer with another blue source are no longer that far away, but
Yeah.
I imagine they will be required to pitch one to force. Um, fairly shortly.
Yeah.
And I imagine Taylor has to go for the touch the spirit realm here. They just pitched force. They just pitched another counter spell. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be unlucky to find that they drew another force, but it is what it is.
I see Cavern of Souls naming cleric. Are there any clerics in the West besides White Plume Adventurer?
That's a good question.
Oh, Elite Spellbinder? Huh. Yeah, it hits White Plume Adventurer and Elite Spellbinder. Where White Plume Adventurer is not a human. Interesting.
Archon. I'm tempted to let this resolve. I mean, you got the dismember. Yeah, you have the dismember.
I think it's gonna resolve, and good chance it gets dismembered. Oh, that is a good Urza Saga.
Yeah, Urza Saga looks great here.
Yeah.
I am surprised it didn't get dismembered. I guess dismember it cost 6 life to cast with the Ancient Tomb.
So yeah, but I have this.
Yeah, I mean it's not doing any. It's not a problem here with the Saga because Saga still doesn't do anything. But coming in tapped isn't a problem. Yeah. I think you need to make the decision about the dismember now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it already costs 6 life. You don't want Archon hitting you for 2, having it cost 8. Yeah, I think you gotta.
Yeah, they're deciding to dismember it.
Yep.
Which makes perfect sense. The real question is with Willy at 11 life, if Taylor sees a land, are they going to play a White Plume Adventure or touch the Spirit Realm?
Oh, that's a very good question. I mean,
there is the land.
There is the land. Do these? Oh, you can pay 3 life to have it enter untapped. Yeah, that's a very good question. I would be very tempted for this aggro.
Yeah. It's tempting, but we also know that Lil Willy does have the Force of Will up.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be hard for Taylor to be putting the Force of Will in hand. If Taylor is putting the Force of Will in hand, White Plume Adventurer as potential force bait, I think is the play. Not that I think Lil Willy probably wouldn't force a White Plume Adventurer, just a regular, just a 3/3 on face, but
well, Cavern of Souls makes the White Plume Adventurer uncounterable.
Oh, that's right.
Anyways.
Of course.
Yeah. It's not going to get forced. The biggest question is how quickly will it be outclassed by Lil Willy's construct tokens. Yeah, and we're seeing the Touch the Spirit Realm, which I have to assume is going to get forced.
Yes. I think here I'm pitching Kappa Cannoneer. Oh?
What?
Oh, no, okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Kappa Cannoneer is the one. Thoughtcast gets you back in the game with the cards.
Should I go in and poke Lil Willy about exiling the Force of Will pitches? Because this one is actually relevant.
Yeah, I think that's a fair. Here, yeah. I'll just type it in the chat.
Yeah, sounds good.
Ever the judge, Tolly. Ever the judge. Yeah, sheesh. Come on. Not Exile the Force of Wills. Exile the Force of Will pitches. There we go.
Oh, I would. Oh, I do imagine we're going to see this. Oh, yeah, we're going to probably see the Saga get Shadow Spear in order to turn the Ancient Tombs back on.
Yes, I think that's totally correct. Um,
Yeah. I
Still
think.
can't cast this Thought Cast. Urza's Bauble is nice because I'll be able to see the White Plume Adventures, which I won't be able to do anything about. But, well, no,
I think
maybe you keep the Bauble in play for the constructs.
Ooh, ouch, that were ran of the third
Oh,
path.
what a draw! Not
I mean, it
a.
doesn't do much.
Oh, of course it does. Oh my god. All of these cards that would be great don't do anything. Um,
Yeah.
so here we see a 3/3. Looking real. Nothing.
Yeah.
Construct a 3/3 construct here, and then I imagine we'll see what 4/4 5/5. Yeah, 5/5 constructs with Shadow Spear. Seems good.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we're gonna see the. Yeah, I have to assume we're about to see the Saga create a construct, get Shadow Spear, equip, and swing
Yeah.
in order to help deal with Willy's rapidly dwindling life total.
Yeah, but that being said, Lil Willy is way ahead. I think.
Yeah,
Urza Saga, what a card.
real good.
Yeah, and I mean it's funny here. You see 8 cast like Torpor turn 1 and not a blue mana to be found, but you know, two Force of Wills, drawing two Force of Wills, and Urza Saga, and that's a game plan, folks. Mox Opal.
They're
Okay.
Mox Opal because they want to cast their spells. Interesting.
I guess the aggro plan is not quite as appealing when you are at 6 life, but you're also at 6 life, which means your lands become
Yeah,
real
though I can
stinky.
see that. I can see this since they can just cast. They can easily thought cast off of the Mox Opal,
Yeah.
um, and potentially draw into some stuff. Some stuff being two more baubles, apparently. But
That is stuff. I mean, they make the constructs really big,
yeah.
um, and they don't require you to tap your ancient tomb. So
Oh yeah.
that's not nothing. I think I still prefer the Shadow Spear play, but I guess Mox Opal does like it does just unlock your hand. So I get it, and it unlocks your hand in a big way, right? It's like Thought Cast, Thought Monitor. That's what 4 extra cards. Yeah, I guess the Mox Opal is the right play. Yeah, and here are the constructs of the appropriate size for an 8 cast player. These are the constructs I remember.
Yeah.
Stonkin' big constructs, baubles in play.
Yeah, these constructs are looking real good.
Oh,
I
but
don't know
Taylor
about.
just drew a 3/4, so um,
Yeah, but not a 3/4. They have mana to cast, unfortunately.
oh, that's right. They can't. Oh boy. Well, it's all right. They've got a 2/1 and a 3/3 in hand, so in a couple of turns they'll be able to double block one of these constructs.
Yep.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. Um, yeah, I guess I mean this is if anything this just shows that the initiative deck is so reliant on initiative and the dungeon to create the value of the deck. Otherwise, it really looks kind of silly. Taylor taking his time to figure out if he wants to play a 3-3 vanilla or a 2-1 vanilla. Chose the 3-3. I think that's the correct play.
I'm a little surprised they cracked the baubles there, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lil Willy's just got. I probably would have cracked one at a time. uh, but 2 cards plus another 2 cards with this thought monitor and the drawing, so 5 cards this turn.
Yeah,
I get
no,
it.
it certainly.
I get it.
Oh yeah, it certainly looks like it's working out pretty well for them. But to be fair, they're also in a position where very little wouldn't.
Yes, that's true.
Um, yeah.
So they haven't reset the construct size, but let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 6s now. I mean, they're going to be bigger than that.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them become 9/9s this turn.
Pretty good.
Maybe bigger. Yeah, maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, I could certainly see the thought monitor drawing some more 0-mana spells, and yeah, I mean, Lil Willy is slow rolling it here, but there's really no reason not to just dump your hand.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the Ancient Tombs are pretty dangerous to cast, but there's also pretty dangerous to tap here, since.
Yeah, but I don't even think you need to, right? You just play
Yeah.
Spellbomb, Lotus Petal, and the Thought Monitor, I imagine, is just 1 blue, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Yeah. Taking their time to make sure the construct tokens are the correct, have the correct strength and toughness.
Yep.
Yeah, the real hard thing. Okay, swinging before the thought monitor. Don't quite get it, but guess it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe see how they block first and gives you some information.
Oh, I think potentially they're playing around Solitude.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, like seeing a Solitude.
Right, because Solitude threatens
Yeah. So it does give Lil Willy a bunch of life, but I can respect wanting to hold up the Aether Spell Bomb. Here. Interested in cracking the Lotus Petal instead
just
of
tapping the seat.
Oh, right. Thought Monitor is not a thought cast.
Oh, of course. It's just a big, a big dummy. Not even that big.
Yeah.
A flyer though.
Too.
A flyer.
Yeah.
Not irrelevant. And yeah, Taylor is just not drawing anything that will do anything. I think it's sort of been the reality for a while now.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, Torpor. Wow, what a card in this matchup. Has just really turned off Taylor's deck. Playing the Seasoned Engineer here, I mean, they must know that there's not much they could hope to draw attacking with the White Plume Adventure.
they can put Lil Willy to 2 life and turn off the Ancient Tombs at the very least here. So I would not be surprised if Lil Willy is just going to crack the Aether Spell Bomb. Yeah. Get rid of that White Plume Adventure.
I guess the White Plume Adventure is a. Oh, I see. It has the the Seasoned Engineer trigger, plus it's a free attack because it has pseudo
Yeah.
initiative or a pseudo vigilance.
Yeah.
So okay.
Oh yeah. I think if I were Willy, I'd be pretty tempted to spell bomb it here just because it does nest. Well, you just kind of win the game if you do that.
Going down
Huh.
to 2. I mean, spellbomb this or the Seasoned Engineer because it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, well, right. The it untaps itself.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the spell bomb at any time is still should just still win the game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's see if Lil Willy draws, or if they must be shaking hands virtually, of course, at this very moment. I think Taylor knows enough that this game is well and truly over. Wow, good. An interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting to see. Yeah, interesting to see how good the sideboard tech was against initiative, even on the draw. Torpor Orb turn 1. Wow.
Turn 1 just kind of turns off the entire deck, apparently.
Torpor Orb turn 1, and then counter spell to protect it seemed to be a winning game plan. I mean, Taylor unfortunately also drew pretty poorly, especially in game 2 where he drew only lands. But
yeah,
just nothing. The deck just doesn't do a whole lot with the Torpor Orb in play.
Yep.
I assume they're chatting, but maybe let's join them in general to speed this along.
Yeah.
All right. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Souls is the thing that makes these decks have play against counter spells, but doesn't apply to
Lords. I assume we're
friggin' touch the spirit realm.
I assume there's handshake.
Oh yes. A digital.
Will is still thinking about it. I think.
Yeah, I'm like, should I swing?
I think we're on up to it.
I might need to hold these back.
Little Willy's really wondering if they're gonna draw another pedal to spend on some blue activated ability instead of just using their Seat of the Synod. I imagine is what they're.
Hey, ask Stack that, but I didn't get a polite answer.
So controversial.
I didn't get a polite answer.
Well,
all right, commentators.
What if he slams a Stony Silence, and then I'm not able to activate? Oh wait, I wouldn't be able to activate the Seat of the Synod anyway.
Yeah, it's
That's
also
how that works. Okay. Well, Taylor, I'm sorry your penchant for drawing lands struck in game 2.
It's all good. It was fitting.
And if it makes you feel better, I kept an opening to finally explain what happened in game 1. I kept an opening hand that had 2 artifacts and a metallic rebuke, thinking that it was affinity and not improvise.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because I always forget how the 2 different mechanics that are both in this deck work.
Yeah, we were wondering why that Embry.
Yeah, I know you were wondering. Yeah, I know. I realized it immediately, and I wanted to take these backsies, and then I was honorable about it, and I lost that game. Okay, and I probably still would have lost anyway.
I don't think you would have. The actual question I had really about that game was why was choosing to make the construct over playing outside.
I got to be honest. I have no memory of that first game. I was really looking to game 2 by the first turn of that game. I was thinking about sideboarding basically immediately.
Yeah, there was a
Well,
tilt going. By the time I untapped, by the time I played my first land or spell, Will
I was like, it's time for round 2. I need my Torpor Orbs.
Every card you cast from there on out, you're like, that's coming out for a Torpor Orb. That's coming out for a Torpor Orb.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to cast Gloom. I basically cast Gloom for show by the end of that second game. Just to say I cast it against the mono white deck.
I mean, we were glad to see it, and it looked really good against the.
Taylor told me, Taylor, after the fact that was the one turn he could have cast the Amiria's Call.
That's right.
I don't think I had triple white, but I had just lost it from the sacking the pedal.
Hey, but hear me out. You could have cast the Amiria's Call anyway if you had played out one more land.
I know, I was being loose with those lands. That was a weird... I mean, City of Traders is hard to play with, also.
Oh, yeah.
And then Stack always had 2 Wastelands in play. So it was a weird game, but I definitely,
Yeah, there were many turns where I was like, do I just start cashing these in? But then I was like, it didn't seem... I feel like I needed that mana more than you needed the, 7th or 8th, generic mana that the two.
And I would have to see that board state again. I don't remember if making 2 angels was going to be good there, but
I think it would have added some turns to that game for sure, because I had not a lot going on by the end of that game.
I don't remember. Didn't you draw a second Cannoneer?
Yeah, but I kept getting Cannoneers but having no way to activate them. So they were kind of just dopey 4/4s, which obviously is still good and was good enough to win the game. But
they can't be blocked, right? If you hit one artifact, yeah, I don't know.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I never hit another artifact that triggered them.
Yeah, but there weren't that many turns after your second one. I think when you cast the second one, I was hovering over the scoop button. But
sure.
I gotta say, it was really refreshing to see a game of Magic played with just good, clean creatures. 3/4s, 3/3s.
No initiative. No 5/5s. No
2/2 flyers. I mean,
just a little ward.
Not everybody would say this, but I think that's what Legacy Magic is really all about.
A little. Hey, what's so wrong with a 7-mana 2/2 flyer? No abilities.
Nothing wrong with that.
Would have been a great card. Would have been a great card at some point.
Alpha.
Yeah.
Still dies to Lightning Bolt though, so take that to the bank, lands.
That's true. It's true. Hey, we're not.
You really only have 2 Torpor Orbs in your 75 too. That's
yes, 100%. I drew them both times in my opener. I feel bad, but I don't apologize.
I was literally rooting for it the second game. I remember thinking, I was up a game. I was like, someone do something against initiative, but
yeah,
I didn't want you to actually win the set, so I take back that.
Sure.
Honestly, from watching the first game, the matchup actually seems pretty solid, even without Torpor Orbs.
Yeah, if I had had a castable Metallic Rebuke, for sure. That would have made it been a very
but also even without the castable Metallic Rebuke, it feels like Emery turn 1 into Spellbomb turn 2, into Spellbomb bounce turn 2, into Slide plus Spellbomb turn 3 does deal with stuff pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that something I feel like I actually honestly really appreciated watching the Rob and Caleb matchup, because I feel like I finally saw the way that the initiative deck falls apart in those games where Rob just kind of methodically answered things and started picking apart Caleb's lands. I was okay, this is doable. It's not unbeatable, I mean, a lot of the time it is, but
yeah, I mean, I think we really saw how kind of anemic the deck is without initiative as its value engine, right?
I mean, yeah, if you don't get that online, or if if you can pass it back to the, like I think the first start is like decks like Delver or decks that have creatures that can steal it back. So like Thopters, is a good start. And then if you can,
it's so funny just never getting any Thopters going.
But the deck just doesn't. Doesn't have card draw, card selection, like anything. It's so all in on like Soul Land, Lotus Petal, like do the thing turn 1 and then try to win.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of decks point removal at it, and they still lose. But it's like removal plus like creatures to steal back the initiative or something.
Yeah,
you can't just point a removal spell, but yeah. Yeah, I was surprised. I think I would have pictured losing to Wasteland more, but
yeah, I mean it's interesting. It makes sense. I have the Wastelands, but they never felt like. I mean, I don't know. I maybe it was just like that specific game that they didn't feel important. Obviously,
it was hard.
We did see a game where Rob had a few that felt very good against Caleb.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, like, turns where, like, you had one on the play, but then I was able to play the 3-drop anyways, and, like, the fact that it gets a basic, too, seems like, I don't know, like, the damage is done, but, yeah. Also, your answer immediately for Archon of Emeria seemed good, with stuff like that, too.
Yeah. That was one of those, it's like, if you do finally stick something that can start punching through, I'm in a lot of trouble, because I dealt 6 to myself, but...
And to talk about the matchup, when I played against Matt, I don't remember. We just played 2 games that ended like just to like turn 1 or 2 scoops. Yeah, but I don't remember. I don't think I got initiative ever. I think at least once, if not both games, I just played Archon, and then he just scooped to Archon. So
which I think is fair. I think if I didn't have an answer, I mean, I would have played it out probably because I had a board state and the Torpor already in play, but like. It's a tough card for our decks to answer.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's good enough against
every
Delver,
land,
but
I have to rip my 1 basic, or else everything else is coming in tapped for the rest of the game.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not like, you don't really have... I mean, Delver can kind of do a better job of fighting through it, but it's pretty lethal for that deck, too.
Yeah, but, I mean, Delver at least it's like bolts,
Well, at least you're like, play a Preordain and then bolt on the other turn. Yeah, as opposed to like, play a Bauble pass,
Yeah, play Bauble pass is about the lowest you can impact a game of Magic.
So, I want the commentators' thoughts on... I boarded in 1 Chalice on the play, game 3, and I was so, like... I don't know. I mean, I guess it didn't look bad. I guess I shouldn't be ashamed. Like, it had to draw Force of Will, and the creature that I cut for it wouldn't have made my 7-card opener a keep either. So, I guess I feel not ashamed of it. But I was like, I don't know, it was a little funny to just keep seeing it.
The Chalice looked really good to me, at least.
Okay, thank you.
No, I think if that Chalice had stuck, it would have done something.
I mean, I brought in 3 Stony Silences, obviously, and the 2 Lorens. And then at that point, I was like, I don't want to over-sideboard. So I think that was maybe the main reason to not bring in Chalices, was that I already had 5, cards that I needed to get room for.
We didn't really...
I cut all of my Chalices. They feel
terrible. Yeah, you should. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't think it's...
Oh, for sure.
Unless I'm getting to 6 mana.
No, it's not a question for you, I don't think.
Yeah,
because you can't play your Moxes and then do it like I can. You know what I mean? Like I can play mine out as mana sources, then close the gate behind me. Whereas your deck is trying to. Did Joe just join the call and he's cooking or something?
In the matchup against Matt,
because you need to do the bauble thing. So
right, but against Matt, I did. I did basically I think we talked about it after, and like anyone who was on the play in the mirror match is just like, I want all my Chalices. I want to just like dump something out, like dump like 1 or 2 baubles into play, and then Chalice on 0 and be like, we're done. But I got my stuff in play,
Oh, interesting. Oh, so even in the mirror, you did that?
Yeah. Like it was so funny because like on the draw, I took them all out, and then on game 3, I put them all back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our only commentary on the Chalices was that they looked pretty bad on the draw, but in the play they made sense. We weren't really thinking too much about what was coming out, but Chalice on the
I mean,
play,
I
I think
didn't-
is right in this matchup.
Yeah, I didn't bring it in on the game too, so I don't think I ever had it on the draw.
I feel like I got very looking at this now again. I'm like, I got very lucky in like seeing so many of my sideboard cards that were relevant. Like the fact that I had Dismember both games too as a 2 of as well is like.
Yeah, you always. Sorry, I don't want to speak over Henry and his stuff in his oven, but yeah, having both Dismember and Torpor both games, and yeah.
Great.
What?
No?
Did we just? Yeah.
Yeah. Cause
What's up?
Made I played and then Stack and Taylor played.
Oh, I guess Henry's talking. I muted Henry to not get the oven cleaning sounds on the.
I'm so sorry. I was not cleaning my oven. I literally just was putting pasta away. So
Henry, would you like to play?
I don't play in this league.
Okay, but I will also just play Legacy with you if you want.
No, I just came up in to say hello. Sorry if I ruined the recording.
No, I think with that, it's as good as time as any.
Everyone, put your spaghetti away. You know.
Listen, some people have reams of Tupperware or shelves of Tupperware. Some people have spaghetti to put away, but whatever you got to do with your spaghetti or your Tupperware, please go do it. Good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe.
Smash
comment,
that like,
ring the bell.
Ding ding. All right. Good night.